Yeah, I've looked at Biohaven. I'll take a look right now. Some crazy micro caps. I can't even look at these. Okay, so let's look at Biohaven. This is a weird company because they got bought out and then came back. Kind of got spun out again. So, oh yes, Biohaven has been really bad stock. Oh, Royalty Pharma has them on the board. Wow. HMS is the multiple stock overlay thing. So let's see if I wanted to do NVIDIA versus Palantir. There you go. Palantir has outperformed NVIDIA quite a bit. I actually don't like this date thing. I'll fix that. Their strategy versus Palantir. Palantir is one of the best stocks of all time. I mean, HIMS versus Palantir and MicroStrategy. HIMS was hanging in there as a super growth stock too. Came back down to earth. Yeah, it's 1 year last year. I don't know if it's the best company fundamentally. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. RTX is definitely trading down on these results, which I'm happy about. All right, Biohaven has a bunch of drugs. It's wild. Some of these really tiny diseases are very competitive. Like Graves' disease is pretty well treated. There's only 3 no extradition countries, and you don't want to be in any of them. No, Mario, it's mostly China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. Pretty much everywhere else will extradite you under the right pressure. Yeah, I don't see how you could bet against these guys. They're very, very smart. They almost have like too many drugs. Why do they think this 𝗕𝗲𝗘𝗢𝗓 does anything? It's so weird. Yeah, Biohaven's probably good long. Yeah, accounting is very important, but I don't think you need to get a whole CPA. These are all development stage drugs. They don't have any FDA approved drugs. They sold their FDA approved drug to Pfizer. Kind of got acquired by Pfizer. Then they went back. I guess there's a bunch of companies trying to do Graves, which I always thought Graves was kind of a pretty easily treated disease. I'm not sure Trump matters that much to the stock market. I mean, certainly in the really short-term tariffs and the kind of tariff news and rumors do matter, but I think every administration tries what they can to boost growth, whether it's taxes, spending, tariffs, trade policy in general, fiscal and monetary policy. But at the end of the day, there's really only so much you can do. I think I've said INMB is a 0 many times. It's like a very obvious kind of scam. Don't know much about the CDMO players out there. Maybe the biologics guys a little bit, but yeah, I'm still short Cure. We're going to cover soon. Don't know SWTX that well. I looked at it. It seemed fairly valued last time I looked at it. I'm short MicroStrategy, yeah. I don't know what's going on with Capper. Yeah, green light being bearish might be a... I don't know what to say. There's not too much out there, Ethan, other than antihistamines. You have a feeling. Try not to invest too much on feelings. Tesla tonight. I mean, I probably not going to see too much action from Tesla, but yeah, we will watch it. Yeah, Ethan, that's a very small market for pharma. 200 or 300 million. And I don't think anybody knows how it's going to grow or not grow. Yeah, antihistamines are generic, so it's just a bunch of generic companies making them for as little as they can. Yahoo Finance is broken. Yeah, you can't even search for a stock on it. Rest in peace, Yahoo Finance. Yeah, rare diseases, cancer, immunology, those are kind of where the success has been. Obviously, obesity is another newish market. Let's get focused on stocks, okay? I appreciate the questions. So these guys are doing ADCs as well. All right, this portfolio is a little bit nuts. There'd be no problem telling the rest of the world pay for our drugs or else you can't get them. I don't see a problem with that. I need my money. I need my money by Wednesday, as a matter of fact. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, I'm sorry. It's amazing depth of assets are kind of incredible. It's almost like I don't know how it couldn't be a long. Like, tell me one of these drugs is going to work. And the management team's pretty smart. They sold their company for like $10 billion, right? That's why you listen to the call. There's plenty of products that do that as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we have a small team that works on earnings calls and transcripts here. So we're going to have something like that in Godel at some point. But I think that most people reading there are many transcripts that are that are put out live. So most of these platforms have live transcript readout. I don't think any of them yet do a thing where like you can subscribe to a watch list and like the earnings season problem, which is like there's 20 calls going on at once, that somehow you can, I don't know, get the calls, get the responses, or get the data from each call, especially if it's like very relevant data versus irrelevant. Like this is still like a bit of an issue in this space with just other kinds of parsing of news and whatever. How do you know what stuff is stock moving and how do you know what isn't? And you know, I do think there's opportunity there. Yeah, I don't see any news. It's a little odd. Oh, it might be for China reasons. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see any actual news. What else is up? 3M is up. Somebody mentioned earnings 6%. Johnson Controls is up 5%. First Solar up 7%. We were talking about that yesterday. Unicure, which we are short. You don't want to see that on the up list. But yeah, no quantum on the active trading list, which is very interesting. QuantumScape is not just a scam. Anything with a quantum in its name. QuantumScape sounds like a short on just general principle. QuantumScape, $4 a share. This rally in the quantum, oh, it didn't. Yeah, I don't know this one. There are so many quantum, named stocks. They're all kind of cringe. Bitcoin's remarkably resilient. I don't know what's happening with Fartcoin, to be honest. People bidding it up. Market's not looking that strong here. Nvidia's dropping a bit. Quantum's looking like it's going to be red soon. Yeah, CEO, quote unquote, retiring. There's the drop. Quantum is negative. I love it. I don't think I've ever traded a 0-day expiry in my life, other than like the normal Friday expiry. Well, it's Colonel Eli Lilly in Civil War. I don't know if UNH is worth buying or not. Well, it was Indiana, so I don't know if that's Southern or not. Exactly, Marek. Yeah, Bitcoin back over 90K, Fartcoin doing well. Who said there's a bear market? Yeah, you can survive in New York with a lot less, but that's it. That is a big range, very different standard of living from the bottom of that range to the top of that range. Yeah, ETH is just dead. Poor ETH. Position sizing is basically all there is to investing. And security selection is important too, but position sizing is everything. Very much not easy. I would say in general, the mistake most people make is their position sizes are too big. That includes myself, by the way. I've looked at KKR. It's a little bit hard for me to understand. I don't know a firm either. Vasu, you can go all in on trades no matter what your portfolio size is. It's just a question of how much risk do you want versus reward. Well, the risk-reward ratio is always the same, actually. It's more the amount of vol and variance you're willing to tolerate. I've looked at immunity. It's not so great. There's no size portfolio. That doesn't make a difference. You want optimal portfolio management. You have to gear towards a certain drawdown. You have to gear towards a certain standard deviation. It's not really about... That's a fallacy that I think a lot of people who are younger think about, that, oh, I don't have that much money. I want a lot more money. Let me leverage up. That's not really that rational. Social skills are important no matter who you are. I wouldn't play around with leveraged ETFs. Your age as an investor doesn't really matter. Don't know much about Alice Biosciences. Should I read that article? I've never traded a mining stock in my life. Yeah, I don't see why your age would matter for investing. I guess, for certain people, if that's important to you, as you get older, your risk levels change or something like that, that's fine. But I think for most investors who are, let's say, professional investors or something like that, I think my feeling. I think most individual people should not be trying to beat the market or arguably even investing in the market. Yes. What's up, Him's House? Yeah, I would love to. Sorry, I'm just like a little bit disorganized. Yeah, people have tried this for a long time, Salvador, and if it were easy, there'd be ARB, but there's no ARB because people don't want to give back the cash. Boards of directors and executives, they love having that. Yeah, I want to look at Jasper again. I don't think you can be successful as a 17-year-old. Your goal is you can be successful over the course of your career. I don't know any successful 17-year-olds, I think. Yeah, Biohaven looks super interesting. I like it. I don't think I ever said Immune Bio is a short. Still in the QC short. Yes. I think, making a big success in the long run is different. Bit of a different question. Yeah, I mean, to me, success is defined by some kind of sustainable advantage. Getting lucky doesn't count. I mean, not everyone can do what Elon does. It does depend a little bit. But yeah, probably the person with the experience. We're not a degree place. But, there are things that you have to do in software that kind of sometimes can only be learned in person, and then sometimes, by experience. And there's some things that kind of have to be learned in the classroom, or reading books, or writing papers and things like that. I don't know if we're already in a recession. The whole idea of like a recession being a binary state is not exactly right. I don't think it matters who's the White House. Politicians talk a lot. They have the megaphone, but they don't actually do that much. There really isn't that much. I mean, look, in the long run, government policy, almost will dictate returns to some extent. But in the short run, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. RD, the R's may get the blame because they're saying, all right, look, party's over. Can't issue more debt. It's a disaster. The Democrats may come in and say, I got good news and bad news. The good news is we're going to grow again. The bad news is you don't want to ask how we're going to grow. We're going to borrow a lot of money and spend a lot of money. When I say spend, I really mean waste. And, I'll get the economy pumping in short term, but it's not going to create productivity. And it's all about productivity. The only thing that can drive productivity is technology. Unless you and I can somehow work harder in the given time we have, we're not going to be more productive. And if you take an economics class or 2 or 12, you learn that productivity is the be-all end-all. And productivity is something that people like Elon, people like Sam Altman, people like Satya, people like George Hotz, people like me will actually create. So that's kind of a crucial piece there. Okay, let's look at the portfolio here. Biggest shorts are we're getting an Ion Q. Next is Capricorn, then Anavex. I want to increase my Anavex short. We'll see. Then INMB, then Unicure, which was supposed to be a trade. Then D-Wave, QUBT, RTX, MicroStrategy, Recursion, and Humacyte. Those are the shorts. Longs are Farming, Tarsus, Biohaven, American Express, PayPal, Google, Gilead, Invivid, IVVD, Resolute, Union Pacific, Meta, HIMS, Sarepta, NVIDIA, Novo Nordisk, and Thera Technologies. I also think I might close that one at some point. Novo. But I kind of still like it, so we'll see. I'm not like that focused on beta. Don't know why Capper is up. They have 8 patients of clinical trial data trying to get FDA approval. Ooh, we should short Webull if we can. Around 0 would be good, but I'm okay having a little beta, positive or negative. I'm more idea driven. I don't know if they're going to let me sell Webull, but let's see. 384% borrow rate is available. 10% warrant coverage. I'm sorry, 10% warrant price above with 100. Is this 100% warrant coverage? Yep. That's insane. Bad terms. Yeah, I don't see it on there either. And we are Globe Newswire. We get Globe Newswire, so I don't know if they filed it correctly or not. Or no, it's definitely a short. INMB is very much a short. Yeah, that was weird. That was definitely weird. I mean, inflammation comes in a lot of ways too, right? Yeah, I did say IBRX was a short. If anything, in the past I've looked at it pretty sympathetically. For clinical trials, it's important to focus on statistics, trial conduct, things like that. There's nobody that is able to deposit their Webull to lend it out for you to short with it, if that makes sense. The borrow rate, the dollar amount, is just an amount that is a market-based. There's MSD in Europe, and then there's Merck in the US, then there's Merck KGaA, which was Merck Serono. World War II really messed up Merck. I once said that somebody was going to get merked if they kept talking stupid to me, and I was like, And I'm not talking about Keytruda. One of my board members just got very upset. I was just joking. It was hilarious. She was like, it's not funny. No, you don't have to be a big player, but it can't be one person. I don't really use the short. I don't really care about short float or anything like that. Still a fan of PayPal. There's like 50 quantum companies. IonQ is like
order filled.
Maybe in the middle of the pack.
Order
maybe
filled.
It just happens to be public, so people know about it. But there's nothing special about it at all. And obviously, they're doing weird things with that acquisition. And
order filled.
Unfortunately, those laser pulses are not scalable. You can't fit that many ions in these weird pressure vacuum chambers. There is no real quantum company at the top of the pack. That's the problem. I mean, none of these systems can really do anything.
Order filled.
One day, maybe. We've tried them all. They just don't do anything. They're kind of pathetic.
Order cancelled.
I wouldn't even say Google, because ultimately, Google certainly doesn't operate a cloud yet, which tells you something. And they have a cloud business, so the fact that they haven't put any of their systems on the cloud is very telling. Photonic interconnects right now are kind of imaginary. We'll have to see if they actually pan out. It certainly doesn't look like IonQ is going very far. Quantinium is a bit more promising, but even then, I think eventually there could be a quantum system. It's going to be used in a very small handful of things. NSA's budget is actually not that big. A lot of people think NSA is massive. It's not that massive. Yeah, they're certainly not quantum computers yet. Computers, you can compute things. We got a ways to go before these are computers. Do I hear the distant cry of a bag holder? I think I hear it faintly. Do you hear that? He's saying, you don't lose until you sell. Yeah, IonQ is kind of a fan favorite because, they're pretty promotional, whereas Rigetti is a little more truthful. My hope is to sort of bring what the big quant firms do to Main Street and also to big hedge funds. Anybody with money. Oh, we got a new Godel update? Sick. What happened? Okay, it's called World Equity Index, guys. WEI, one of my old favorite tools on Bloomberg. Let's see what it looks like. I'm about to roast some engineers if this isn't good. I hadn't reviewed it really. So you want to see what it looks like? All right, so here it is, WEI, the one and only. It's a top 10 Bloomberg function to me. I don't know about you guys. Oh, I like this. Ooh. You know what I want to see? I want to see MTD too. I want to see that month to date. Oh, this is fresh. Look at that. Right off the bat with one command, S&P down 13. This should be 1 decimal point. Guys, always do 2 decimal points. It's always 2 decimal points. Nobody cares if it's down 10.85 instead of 10.9. I'm a roast on that one. That's roastable. This is really interesting. The fact that some of these exchanges are trading where they're trading, like the FTSE's up this year. S&P's down 13. NASDAQ's down 19. I like this. This is a great start. I don't know if it's perfect, but I like it. I kind of feel like it should open up to a full thing like this. It should not just open up to a scroll bar. But other than that, and the 2 decimals, I like it. What do you guys think? You should be able to hit a setting and change it how many bips or pips you want, right? Some people like the decimals. Okay. Might be. Honestly, if it were me, I wouldn't even have any decimals. Just tell me it's up 11, down 11, up 10, up 13. Oh, wait, this one's down 13. S&P's down 13. I don't care if it's down 13.2 or 13. I definitely don't care if it's down 13.23. And I definitely don't care if it's down 13.234359. And neither should you. I'll just take down 13. I don't need a decimal point. WEI, Belgium 20 index word. We're looking at Belgium index now. The DAX is real. Oh, can I open these too? No? See, I should be able to click this and it opens. Because I know we have to have these if we don't, right? We got the Kospi. The Kospi's up 4%, Korea. Then we should do a currency adjusted. Other than that, we lit. This is good. I want to be able to click them. And I want to be able to have the decimals adjustable. These got to be real time, of course, which we'll get with the permissions. But I always use honestly, when I use WEI, I used it mostly for the year to date. I don't like the mini graph. We can do the mini graph if you want it. Too many windows / layers? Are you talking about like just the canvas of Godel? I kind of feel like, yeah, like it should fill the screen or something. What do you think? We're thinking about like having a terminal mode where it's like literally just one box and that's it. And there's like nothing else other than a single box that you just are looking at. The Russell isn't on the Bloomberg's WEI either, but you should be able to add and subtract. You want the border sticker? I think that kind of makes sense. Yeah, you can always throw this on another monitor, but to me, WEI isn't a function that's meant to be kept open. So I feel like, you just look at it quick and just close it. But so many functions like that on Bloomberg are meant to be used that way because Bloomberg is terminal mode only. Although there is Launchpad. But yeah, I'm happy with this. We'll get you some real-time prices very soon too. Looks like NASDAQ is real-time for what it's worth. So we do have a deal, nice deal with NASDAQ. The good people over at NASDAQ. But we will get every single one of these real-time. You might have to pay extra for those quotes. That's an entitlement thing. Some of these countries, like Australia, not only do you have to pay extra, they want to know exactly who you are. We have to give them your name, everything. So each country, each exchange is a different system. Personally, Higgs asked the question, how would you use it? So the way I think about it and care about is as if I was a professional fund manager, this is the number I care about. Literally, this is it. It is all about what is the S&P doing this year. You see it. If you are up more than this, you're making money for your clients. People are happy. You're down worse than this, you know what to do in Minecraft. That's how that is. I have a friend who's only down 3%. His clients are like trying to give him more money. You're up? Forget it. So for me, that's the kind of tool that's really important. I also care about these other markets. So, for some other people, like in Europe, it's actually more about the FTSE or the CAC. I know some of you really like CAC, the CAC. I don't like CAC, but I know a couple of you in that chat. You're huge CAC fans. You can't get enough of it. That's the French exchange, CAC. And DAX for Germany obviously is very important. But FTSE for the UK. And then, of course, the Asians, they got their own exchanges. They don't really care about the S&P. So, you got to deal with each exchanges. It's also, if you're a macro guy, okay, which I'm going to start, now that I have this, I might start trading some futures to show you guys, put you on. Now, do I know what I'm doing? Not exactly. When it comes to stocks, all right, I know what I'm doing. When it comes to futures, I might just a little freestyle. We're short CAC, long DAX. French people, we sell. German people, we buy. It's that easy. Short Taiwan, then we short Taiwan, then we go to Chinese message boards. Dear Emperor Xi, you're not an emperor. Maybe the war starts. We're short Taiwan. What's up? Just saying, you got to think outside the box. That's called activist investing. China number. I was on a video game the other day, and I type in, that's gonna be fixed. 𝗏𝗏. Don't worry about that. I was on a game, and I was like, China, U.S. number 1, Japan number 2. Some guy was like, China number 1. I was like, no. Taiwan number 3, Canada number 4. Yeah, we have commodities coming. I give this an A-, which is pretty good. Because I'm a very strict A. I'll give it an A. Is it possible to get A+? Yes. The guy who made this, he's gotten A+ before. He's very good. His name Vlad TV. Vlad the Young King. YUNG. I love this.